But Thursday, after practice here in Dublin, Ireland, they had the opportunity to experience some of the Irish games using this hurley as well as other equipment. The team's travel day started in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania Tuesday night before landing in Dublin, Ireland Wednesday morning. Through the first 5 games, there was little doubt surrounding the Penn State defense, but now with a matchup set against dual-threat quarterback Devin Gardner, there are questions surrounding the unit. Penn State's offense started to find success late in the game against Ohio State, including a Saeed Blacknell touchdown right here in this end zone. Playing women's basketball at UConn under Gino Auriemma is a dream for any high school basketball player. It's one that's unattainable for most, but for one student here at State High, the dream has become a reality. Just ask her mom.
Now we're getting some fall weather going on over here.
I'm not as big a fan of the fall, but what I am a fan of is football. And now here's Alexa Lucas with sports. Less than a month remaining before the NFL draft, the Texans are scheduling visits with some of the top prospects. Jadeveon Clowney and Johnny Manziel both were in Houston today to meet with head coach Bill O'Brien and his staff. Thank you, Tyler. Let's get to the film and break down former Auburn running back Trey Mason. Here's a play in the national championship game against Florida State. Does a great job of taking the handoff, getting to the outside, and reading his blockers. You're going to hear that continuing to be a trend. And once he gets into the open field, this guy is a menace. Strong legs. Needs to add a few pounds in the NFL to be an every down back. We have an update on breaking news. A fire at an air traffic control tower near Chicago is affecting hundreds of flights nationwide, including here in State College. Through the first 7 games of the season, Penn State's defense has been the strong point of the team, ranking 4th in the nation in yards against. But even with that level of success, the players are hoping to reach new heights.
We just have to make that transformation from a good defense to a great defense. We set the bar high for ourselves, and we just want to compete and be the best defense that we can possibly be.
The task doesn't get any easier on Saturday as Maryland is averaging 31 points per game, led by 6th-year quarterback C.J. Brown, who's one of many upperclassmen Franklin is familiar with from his time at Maryland.
I love the kid. I love his family. I remember the home visit. I remember being down in the basement and playing ping pong with him and pool. I remember going to his basketball practice in high school. He's a great kid, great student, great player.
From 2008 to 2010, Franklin was the offensive coordinator of the Terrapins. Now he has the challenge of coaching the Penn State offense to greater levels of success. Penn State's offense started to find success late in the game against Ohio State, including a Saeed Blacknell touchdown right here in this end zone. The unit looks to continue its execution in Saturday's matchup against the Terrapins. The Terrapin defense ranks 106th among FBS schools in total defense, providing an opportunity for Penn State to continue the late game fortunes it had against the Buckeyes. Reporting in University Park, I'm Joe Garofalo for the Center County Report. From the moment James Franklin and his team stepped off their overnight flight to Dublin, Ireland Wednesday morning, the message has been clear. This is a business trip for Penn State, focused on one thing, Central Florida.
It's a game against Central Florida that happens to be in Ireland. So that's kind of the plan. You know, things like they're doing right now, there's some unique things that we want them to experience when it comes to Ireland.
On Saturday, Penn State football will have the opportunity to showcase some of America's culture when they play football in the Croke Park Classic. But Thursday, after practice here in Dublin, Ireland, they had the opportunity to experience some of the Irish games using this hurley as well as other equipment.
Your Penn State team today are getting to take part in our unique Gaelic games, and they're doing 2 of our sports today, Gaelic football, which we play with a round ball like a soccer ball, and our ancient 3,000-year-old sport called hurling, which is a stick and ball game. The fastest field sport in the world. Incredible sport. Over an hour after practice commenced, the Nittany Lions took part in a series of drills, teaching them the fundamentals of each sport, giving them an appreciation for the Gaelic games while also having some fun. Carraher expressed there is a mutual excitement within the country to see American football firsthand. We have this stadium called Croke Park, which was built only for Gaelic games. So to be able to open it up for a big American sport like American football and introduce that to our people is just fantastic, and we're delighted and we're privileged to have the group here. The Lions have a day off of practice on Friday before taking part in the Croke Park Classic on Saturday. Reporting in Dublin, Ireland, I'm Joe Garofalo.
Playing women's basketball at UConn under Gino Auriemma is a dream for any high school basketball player. It's one that's unattainable for most, but for one student here at State High, the dream has become a reality. Just ask her mom.
I think the passion that she has for this sport is key, and I think that's what drove her to where she wanted to go.
That passion for the game developed in 4th grade when Kyla Irwin knew she wanted to play for UConn and eventually pursue a career in the WNBA.
I don't think I have a least favorite thing or a favorite thing. There's nothing I don't love. Everything.
Growing up in a basketball family, Irwin had a strong role model, her mom. Bethany Irwin played college basketball at Penn State and is now the coach at State High, where she is both parent and teacher for Kyla.
Her court awareness, and she just doesn't know her position. She knows everybody's position, and she'll know where everybody's supposed to be, how the play is developed, what are we supposed to be looking for in that play, rotation of defenses, and her communication is just above and beyond.
As great of a player as Bethany was, she knows her daughter maybe even better.
She's so much more advanced with her ball handling skills and her range in comparison to what I was in high school.
But Kyla knows she has room to improve.
The game's completely different at the collegiate level, so I know I want to just foot speed and even just getting my shot off quicker. I think everything I want to make sure I get better at.
Despite that, Bethany thinks her daughter's basketball IQ is off the charts, and she's got a story to prove it.
We would call a timeout, and she'd come over and she's like, "Mom, if we do this, I said, "Yeah, I think we can do it." And then we had to call another timeout to explain to everybody else. So just for her understanding the game so much is a plus, having her on the floor.
Her knowledge of the game and ability are what earned her the offer from UConn, an opportunity she had always hoped for.
I was like, oh my gosh, is this real? It was just really exciting, and you just never really think of it, and then whenever it finally happens, you just can't stop smiling.
Last season as a sophomore, Kyla averaged just under 20 points per game. When I asked her how she would describe her game to those who haven't seen her, she said passionate and enthusiastic. Back to you in the studio.